Yo, what was that? From near the logo, Russell Westbrook sent home Damian Lillard. What was that? Yo, this man Damian Lillard just put himself on the map. Hey, OKC fans, how you feeling right now? Damian Lillard does that to you? He was from there at the logo, and he hit the game-winning shot. Hey, look, I was wrong about this series. You know, I really was. I picked OKC to win in 7. Obviously, they lose in 5 tonight. Whoop-de-doos! Oh my God, that was crazy. Yo, if y'all were not watching the end of that game, that end of the game was crazy. By the way, be sure to hit that like button right now. Subscribe to my channel if you are new. By the way, go Warriors. Kevin Durant all day, every day. Listen, Russell Westbrook played well tonight. You know, OKC had about a 13-point lead, I would say, with something like 7 minutes left in the game. But ultimately, Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, just too much for them to overcome in the clutch. Paul George and Russell Westbrook were playing with a couple fouls late in the game. You know, I think Russell had 5 fouls toward the end. You know, Paul George had 5. You know, for a little while, but it really didn't affect the whole game. You know, listen. I mean, I think OKC has slightly better players, but Portland to me just looked like, honestly, the better team. And I overlooked them. You know, I do apologize to Blazers fans. And by the way, I did go make a video that said Damian Lillard didn't need to prove himself in this playoffs. He was among my top 5 players that needed to prove themselves in the playoffs. I made a video titled NBA Players That Need to Prove Themselves in the Playoffs. Damian Lillard was on this list. Man, oh man, did he rise to the occasion. Not only outplaying Russell Westbrook in this overall series, but pretty much, you know, in this game in particular, you know, he had like 50-some points, and that cold-blooded game winner, CJ McCollum, he was great down the stretch too. You know, Grant had a good game for OKC. Paul George played really well. Russell Westbrook did play well too, but I'm sorry, the big problem in OKC is Russell Westbrook. I'm just going to be real with you. Think about this. The last 12 playoff games that OKC has been in on the road, they've lost all 12 straight. They've lost 12 straight playoff games on the road since Russell Westbrook has been there and Kevin Durant has left. Well, what is this now? 3 straight years, you know, of OKC losing the first round since Kevin Durant has left. Listen, you cannot win a championship with Russell Westbrook being your primary ball handler. You just can't. I mean, the guy can't shoot anymore. He's a 40% field goal percentage shooter in the entire playoffs. You know, he's played 90 playoff games. This is what he is, you know. I'm sorry. 3 straight years of first-round exits and disappointments in the playoffs. You can't win with this guy. You can't. I'm sorry. He couldn't win with the second-best player in the NBA for a great while. He can't win with anybody. I'm sorry. And OKC was up 3-1 on the Golden State Warriors. Listen, that's just bad. I mean, that cannot happen if you're the primary ball handler. Russell Westbrook right now is not a top 10 player in the NBA. I'm sorry. I hate to be crucial, and I actually really like Russell Westbrook. And, you know, I'm not saying that he's not a player that wants to win, because Russell Westbrook wants to win more than anything, in my opinion. But he's no longer a superstar anymore. He's no longer a top 10 player. It's not just this game. It's not just a couple games in the series, you know, particularly game 2 and game number 4, in which he came out small. You know, it's pretty much throughout his whole playoff career. Russell Westbrook has been 90-plus playoff games in his career. He's shooting 40% in those games. He's a terrible 3-point shooter in the playoffs. And this year, his free throw percentage even went down. I mean, I'm just telling you the reality. I mean, Russell Westbrook, he's kind of washed up a little bit. I'm sorry. You know, he's no longer a top 10 player. I would definitely take Damian Lillard over Russell Westbrook now. Now, not all-time status, nothing like that. Russell Westbrook definitely is over Damian Lillard all-time, in my opinion. But I have to take Damian Lillard over Russell Westbrook. Damian Lillard is leading the Portland Trail Blazers to the number 3 seed with much less talent on his team, in my opinion. And Russell Westbrook, listen, I saw a lot of Paul George in the first half of the year for the NBA season. I really did. And as the year went on and on and on, particularly in the second half of the season, I saw more Russell Westbrook taking shots and less Paul George. And OKC plummeted. They went from the 3 seed all the way down to the 6 seed. So Russell Westbrook deserves a lot of blame for that. And let's be real, if OKC had these games on their home court for mainly the whole series, you know, if the game started in OKC, I think they might have won the series. They would have given them some much better chance. They had to go on the road to Portland, you know, start the game. Portland had a home court. And ultimately, you know, that's really what helped them in this series. So Russell Westbrook has been affecting OKC for a long time. Russell Westbrook can't win with Kevin Durant. He couldn't win with Kevin Durant in OKC. I mean, who's he going to win with now? Hot take. Take Russell Westbrook and switch him with Steph Curry on the Warriors right now. I mean, let's switch teams. Think about this. If put Steph Curry on the Thunder, put Russell Westbrook on the Warriors. I'm sorry. The Warriors just got worse. The Thunder got a whole lot better. Steph Curry's a much better shooter. Look, I'm sorry. OKC chose the wrong guy to enable on Russell Westbrook. Kevin Durant obviously left, and, he left. But James Harden, I mean, I would have probably done the same thing, but that was a bad choice at the time. James Harden, he proved everybody wrong. He was the much better option at the time. He really was. He has turned into the better player. And OKC ultimately had 3 top 10 NBA players. And they're left with the worst one now. And he's not even a top 10 player anymore. I'm sorry. It's a hot take, but it's just the reality. James Harden's a much better shooter, a much better leader, a much better facilitator than Russell Westbrook right now. He's playing a lot better right now this year. James Harden looks like he can have 5-6 more years of great play. He's dominating the NBA right now. Russell Westbrook is on the back 9 of his career. He's not going to get any better. I don't think so. He's almost 30 now. His jump shot has gotten worse. You do not get better as a shooter as your age goes on. I mean, he can't even hit 3 free throws now. Russell Westbrook is the problem in OKC. They have not gotten past the first round since Kevin Durant has been there. And ultimately, he deserves a lot of blame. I call him Russell Statbrick a lot. I called him Russell Statbrick before, and I'm calling him Russell Statbrick now. I'm sorry. I feel sorry for OKC. It's the 3rd year in a row they lost in the first round. But props to Portland. Portland's a real contender. They're most likely going to face Denver or San Antonio the next series. They have a real chance to beat either team, in my opinion. They should be in the Western Conference Finals, potentially. Okay, I'm going to go through prediction by prediction later down the road, but we'll see. That's pretty much it for y'all. I'm signing out Damian Lillard. What a shot. What a series. And good night.